Hi Flosstube, this is Stephanie the Ivy House Crafter, and today is my 1-year Flosstube anniversary. Yay! So yeah, 1 year ago today, February 8th, I loaded my first Flosstube video, and it's been quite an interesting year since then. So this isn't one of my normal Flosstube videos. I'm not going to show you my whips and all that. I thought that I would take this time to show everything that I have finished in the year since I started Flosstubing. I won't be able to show all of my finishes because several of them have been for other people, and I don't have them anymore. Those that I can't show in person, I'll try to find pictures or videos that I can insert. Before we start, I do have one item of business. I was re-gifting this, sort of passing the stash. This is Welcome Home by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I had a little drawing for this several weeks ago. I never heard back from the original winner of this, so I drew again for a new winner, and this is now going to Carol Safara. So yay! Carol, I have your address, and so I'm going to pop this in the mail for you. Keep an eye out for that. Okay, let's move on to my finishes. I had the great idea that I was going to, at some point, make a project roll. Vonna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, has a great tutorial for how to make a project roll, and it's, you know, like a big cardboard tube that's then decoratively wrapped in fabric with a long arm of fabric, and you lay your either the projects you're working on or your finished projects on the fabric and roll it up around the tube, and it allows you to store your projects without them getting wrinkled. I got lazy and so I got fabric. I have the tube. It's an old wrapping paper tube, and I never really did the sewing and the gluing and the measuring and cutting and all that stuff involved in making a real project roll, so this is my project roll. It is a wrapping paper tube and a piece of fabric that I bought at the store. It was, I think, just in the clearance bin, and I haven't measured it, I haven't cut it or anything. It's just wrapped around the tube with my projects on the inside and then tied up with a ribbon. So this is my very fancy, very lovely project roll, and this is where I'm keeping my finishes. And you know, here's the beautiful fabric. I like fabric that has script on it, especially the French script. It's very lovely, and I have no clue what it says, and my husband thinks French is like the worst language ever, and I'm, well, you're allowed to think whatever you want. So just get this all the way unrolled. I'm not going to do this in any particular order. See, there's the inside of my roll. Just whatever comes on top, that's what I'll do first. Okay, so I think we'll probably start with the more recent-ish. No, it is not in here in any order, so anyway. This is Springtime Sampler, and I need to finish this, like FFO it, so that I can display it when we finally have spring again. We got some major snow dumped on us in the past couple of days. So I am dreaming of spring lately. So Springtime Sampler, this is one that I designed. It's available in my Etsy shop linked below. And this is stitched 2/1 on 18 count white Aida. Okay, this is one that I showed recently on my channel that I finished. Spring House by Brooks Books. Stitched 2/1 on 28 count dwarf Lugana. There's some pretty mottling in here. It's still weird to me to see it with the clouds and the kite, because it was just the house and down here for so long. I did all the stitching down here, and then finally in just a few days finished up the trees and then everything in the sky. And so for me it's really weird to see it fully stitched. That being said, I like it a lot. So Brooks Books, Spring House, part of the free series House for All Seasons. I'm trying to get everything set up so that it's not covering my phone, because my phone has how much time I have left before my camera's gonna cut off. Okay. This is a small finish. This was one of my Mania starts last year. And it is just a sort of folk hearts bookmark that I never turned into a bookmark. This is from the book Reader's Digest Big Book of Cross Stitch Designs that I got on Amazon. Let's see, this is, I'm pretty sure it's 18 count Confederate gray, and then just stitched in a kind of bluish green DMC. Oh, this was Deer in the Woods. It's one of the very first things that I designed, and this is also available in my Etsy shop. I stitched this 1/1 on 28 count. I'm pretty sure this is tea-dyed Monaco, and I love this piece. I need to FFO this and get it out where I can look at it, because it's so pretty. I took a walk in the woods and came out taller than the trees. This is a quote. I should remember who it's from. It's been a while. I think it's Henry David Thoreau, but I might be wrong. Yeah, just beautiful. I love this one. What is this called? This was from a book I got at the library. It's an old book. Favorite Birds, Charted Designs by Celeste Plowden or something like that. I think this one was called Fanciful Birds. And it was supposed to have orange, but I changed it to this turquoise color. This is also, I believe, 18 count, or is it 14 count? I don't remember exactly what the fabric is. Yeah, I don't remember what the fabric is. Yeah, that was another Mania start last year. Ooh, I like this one. Well, I'll show this with the other one. Okay, I need to get this cut out, because this is a whole bunch of extra fabric that I have that I can use for something. So I need to cut this more. Anyway, I'll hold it this way so that it's in order. So this one is a freebie from With Thy Needle and Thread. It's on their blog. And this is the companion piece that I put together. I designed to go with it, because I didn't like having only half of the alphabet. Just love these two pieces, very autumnal. And again, this is 18 count tea-dyed Monaco. Okay, let's see. This was Festive Stars from the Reader's Digest Big Book of Cross Stitch Design, and the actual design is supposed to be like this full sampler, but I got really tired of this piece. It's on MCG Textiles Even Weave, which is not even and is very stiff, and stitching on it, the way I stitched, like it was, every time my knuckles would brush up against the back, it was like chafing my fingers. So I did not enjoy working on this fabric, so I stopped at this and planned to eventually turn it into like a pincushion or just like a little pillow finish that I haven't done yet, obviously. Looking at it now, I really like it. I just despised working on it. I didn't enjoy working on it. So it's got some beads. They were supposed to be just regular stitches, but this was for the let's see, the Winter Olympics event in the Stitch Mania group, and you were supposed to stitch on something with beads or specialty stitches, or beads or metallics, something like that. And so I put beads into this piece and decided that I really didn't enjoy stitching beads. So yeah, there was a lot about this piece that I just did not like working on. But it'll be a cute FFO whenever I decide to FFO it. Okay, this was just a very small, lots of threads dangling piece. I'm pretty sure it was a Stitch Mania start last year, and this was near the end of my 15 new starts, and I was kind of over it. I just wanted something really, really small that I could just knock out and finish right away. So I don't remember where I got this pattern. The pattern itself was a freebie, and then I added the heart, I think, and the words Little Loves. This was supposed to be the top for an Altoid can needle case that I was gonna make and never made. But yeah, this turned out really cute, and I don't know, I could turn it into a pin keep, or you know, I do still have the Altoid tin that I was going to turn into a needle case, and I do keep needles in there. I just haven't put the cute little top on it yet. That's kind of a pattern with me, where I have these great ideas that I'm going to, you know, FFO all the things, and I don't FFO any of the things. Unless I absolutely have to. Okay, here's a couple different pieces. This one's really embarrassing. A couple pieces that are stitched on the same piece of fabric, but I stitched these for my parents for Mother's Day and Father's Day last year, and still have not FFO'd them and gifted them to my parents. So here were some daisies for my mom, and a pagoda for my dad, and I think they turned out great. I love how they look, and I know that eventually my parents are going to love them and treasure them and display them with pride, knowing that their daughter loves them enough to make something for them and actually finish it and get it to them. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it will someday. Okay, The last two that I have in here are somewhat recent finishes. Finished shortly after I started, or I decided to start rolling everything up in my project roll. So this one was pepper jelly. I gotta do more of these. I have like a book that has 8 patterns like this. I gotta do some more. This is just so sweet. So this one is pepper jelly, and it's the, you know, the peppers and the recipe, which is just so sweet. Oh, at some point I stopped talking about what I'm stitching things on. Clearly, just 28 count white even weave, 32 count lambswool jobelin. I think that's all. Okay. This one is 28 count linen. I think the color is beautiful beige. Is it 28 count? I'm pretty sure it's 28 count, but it might be 32 count. It's got good coverage either way. Okay. Alright, the last one in my project roll I finished recently. This is another one that feels really weird to see it fully, you know, to see it complete, because for so long it didn't have a border and it didn't have anything in here. And so to see stuff written in here and this beautiful strawberry border is a little bit weird for me. Do you guys get that? Where, you know, you make progress on a piece and then you put it away and you don't get it out for a long time. And then the next time you do work on it, it's weird to see it with the progress that you have then put in, because you're so used to picturing it without those things stitched in. Is it just me? Let me know. So yeah, this one is this one has a wrinkle from the project roll. I gotta do a better job of rolling these up properly. Grand House from the Reader's Digest Big Book of Cross Stitch Designs. A lot of great projects in that book, and a lot that I would never even consider doing because they're totally not my style. But the ones that are in there, or the ones that I do like, I really like. There we go. Okay, I had to cut some out because I went and grabbed a finish that I had forgotten about. So I just barely showed earlier in the video the Welcome Home pattern that is going to Carol. This was my finish of that pattern. And for obvious reasons, I was not storing it in my project roll. That this is a very uneven linen that I got off of Amazon, and so the actual pattern, if it was stitched on an even count, would be like rectangular in the other direction. But so this is my short, squat little Welcome Home by Country Cottage Needleworks, stitched on very uneven linen using the... Now, I didn't even use the DMC conversion for the fancy flosses. I used, I have a big bag of floss that I got on Amazon, just like random colors and no brand in particular. So this isn't DMC, it's just random, you know, this looks like about the right color, I'll use this kind of thing. And I have red and white polka dots on the back to match the red and white polka dot borders. And this is one that I cut out the, you know, cut in the back to stuff it and then sewed it back up. Not my favorite. I'm sure that there's a much neater way to do that, but anyway, you don't see that part because this is the part that shows. Alright, so those are all of my cross-stitch finishes that I still have with me. I do have another needlework type finish. This was my first punch needle project, and it's this sweet little fox. I haven't done any punch needles since this, and I didn't do a particularly great job on this. It's really uneven, but it's super cute. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to gather up whatever pictures, videos, etc. I have of other finishes that I have done, or finishes that I have had this year, in the past year, that have gone to other people. I know I have completed at least 4 biscornus. I think there's 4 biscornus that I've done, and like 3 pillow finishes and a framed piece. I don't recall if there was anything else, but whatever I can get into the video is going to go in right here. I have an FFO. This is the piece that I have been working on for my aunt with breast cancer, and it's the one I charted myself. It's a special song that she and her husband would sing together, and so this is my finish. I love how it turned out. I just think it is so pretty. Like, not really a lot to say about it. It's just, there was a different piece of art in here. You can go back and watch my other video. It was like spices, and, really pretty, but it was the perfect size for this. So I took that out and I glued, well, I laced up the stitch piece, and that was a lot of fun. It's not as difficult as I thought it would be. So I can see myself doing more lacing in the future, definitely. So I laced it up on foam board. I glued it onto this piece, and again in my other video you can see what this looked like before I put it on. It's just like a big flat thing, and then I glued the smaller frame on top of the stitched piece, and this is how it turned out, and I really like it. It is so pretty, and if I wasn't giving it away as a gift, I would keep it for myself because it's just so beautiful. But, it is a gift, and I will be delivering that to my aunt in person this weekend. Okay, so this is the completed biscornu. It's so cute. As I've shown before, here's the lighthouses, the starfish, the beach huts. I need to work on how to make biscornu patterns a little bit better as far as placement, because the sandcastles turned out upside down. That's okay, it's a learning process. And the sailboats on the back. I've got these tiny, tiny buttons. I think they are so cute. And it's all sewn up and stuffed and ready to go. So, surprise! The tiny Quaker is actually a tiny biscornu. Look at how little it is. So I made this for my Great Biscornu Swap partner, and I turned it into a scissor fob. It's a little bit wonky because, as I have mentioned, the fabric was the yeah, the fabric was not exactly even, and so it's longer than it is wide, and the same on the other side. I kept the back very simple because the front took such a long time. But then just put these cute little hearts. Let's see. And I have my, okay, it's not going to focus, but I have my little guy in the background here. See, that's his foot. And I crocheted this little bit of, I don't know what you want to call it. It's a bookmark pattern, but yes, there's your foot. Oh my goodness, that's a great foot. He's very excited about his foot. Anyway, so that is the biscornu that I made using my tiny clicker, and this is the crocheted connection to the scissors, and it's just very, very cute. It's so tiny. It fits in the palm of my hand, and it's just really cute. So, yes, you are just so excited that Mommy has the camera out, huh? Okay, but this, it was supposed to be like a little pin keep, but then I decided, you know, I was gonna go big with it. So it's just a really cute pillow thing. Just a very small amount of stitching on it, but very sweet. I lined the stitching with a little bit of very thin interfacing, sewed these two pieces together with this lace between them, and then sewed it onto the back. And this is the Secret Santa gift, and I will be sending that out in the mail shortly after I finish filming this. This one. This was the piece that I designed for my friend who lost her baby, and I did not like overstuff it. I didn't make it really stuffed because I wanted it to be somewhat flat. I attached some floss to it so that it can hang as an ornament. And the fabric on the back is very sweet. I really like how this one turned out. Mr. Sloth, cute little sleepy baby sloth. The backing fabric is a pale green to go with the leaves. And this one just turned out super cute. This is going to be part of the White Elephant gift exchange that is happening this evening. So that'll be fun. So here is the biscornu that I made for my swap partner. It is so pretty. It's got these adorable tiny butterflies. Well, not like super tiny, but 2 fingers big. It's got a border of vines and flowers and hearts. These tiny French knots, beads in the butterflies. And on the other side is this Celtic knot garden. This was rather fun to stitch. It's really hard to see it if you don't know what you're looking for, but a lot of these, I stitched this on 14 count Aida, and a lot of them I had to put the needle through the center of the Aida to get this pattern. So yeah, it's hard to see it even for me that did it, but it turned out just super awesome. Really enjoyed that. got these tiny white buttons, smaller than my fingernail. And I have stubby little fingernails, so yeah, very small. I can't remember off the top of my head. I should have looked this up, but I can't remember the Etsy designer that I purchased this pattern from. It will be linked below. I do remember it's called the Blue Butterfly Biscornu. And the designer has lots of really pretty Biscornu patterns on her website. There's another butterfly one that it's a companion piece to this one. It's the Yellow Butterfly Biscornu. And it also has I think a Celtic knot style back and beaded backstitched butterflies. Say that 5 times fast, and you know, the pretty border and everything, but it's in shades of yellow and gold and stuff, and that's really pretty. Anyway, so now for the fun, exciting part of this video. Since it is my Flosstube anniversary, I wanted to celebrate with a giveaway. And I mentioned in my last video that whoever wins the giveaway, I will let them choose any project bag from my Etsy store, and I will go ahead and send that to them. I do have 4 more that I have completed in the last few days, and I'm going to show those now, and then I'll list them while the video is loading. So, my most recent project bags, here's the back of one. I haven't decided what I'm naming all of these yet, but and here's the front. So, the main fabric, it's got these sweet birds in fruit trees, and then this swirly fabric, and oh yeah, I have my cat. Okay, she jumped down. And that is the charm, the zipper pull charm to go with it. I love the inside of this one. I hope this shows. It looks like chocolate melting with cream. Super nice. So there's one. Isis, will you stop messing with the tripod? Here is the back of the next bag. And here's the front. Isis. There we go. Leave it alone. Okay, and it's got this viney brown fabric and the red crochet trim. Here is the charm for that. Sweet little lovebirds and buttons. And the inside is autumn leaves, because I just felt that this one was very autumnal, which is one of my favorite colorways, because and like style things, because I love autumn. Yes, looking forward to spring. I can still love autumn. But speaking of spring, I had to put in a nice, bright, happy floral. And here's the front. Pretty pink lace. The accent fabric is very subtle. It's this peach paisley on a white background. And the zipper charm is a butterfly and a flower and some beads. So there's that very sweet one. And my personal favorite in this batch, and possibly ever, it's got the birds and cat hair. Birds, words, and feathers. And then we turn it around and it has this gorgeous blue and green batik fabric as the accent. And I love this fabric so much. And there's the lace trim. Here is the zipper charm. And it's got this beautiful lining fabric. It's birds, and the blue fabric is kind of variegated, goes blue and white, like a cloudy sky. This one is just beautiful. I am going to have to make another one of these for myself because I love this. I love this so much. Okay, so that is my 4 latest project bags. There are several already in my shop, and I plan on making a few more. So, yeah. Also in the giveaway, yesterday I went to the Craft Center of Fine Stitchery. That is an LNS that is, let's see, it's in Cottonwood Heights, which is, I don't know if that's technically in Salt Lake City, but it's, everyone says Salt Lake City. And it's less than 20 minutes from my house, so that's nice. Closer than the Shepherd's Bush. It has a different atmosphere, a different feel. It's not quite as, like Shepherd's Bush is very charming and quaint, and the Craft Center of Fine Stitchery is like a little bit more modern, but they have like all the fancy floss and a whole bunch of patterns and lots of beautiful stitched models to admire and ogle over. Anyway, so while I was there, I picked up some lovely Weeks Dye Works flosses to include in the giveaway. Because I had to dig my SUV out of the snow to drive there, and it was just very cold. I was like, I want spring colors, so I got these beautiful springtime colors. It looks like an Easter basket. This one is Morris Blue and Banana Popsicle, Sophia's Pink, Sweet Pea, and Wasabi. And together they are just this delightful little sorbet of springtime. So those will also be included in the giveaway. Okay. In order to be entered to win the giveaway, I would like you to comment below your favorite memory that has to do with either Valentine's or a birthday, because it's my Flosstube's birthday, or an anniversary, because it's the 1-year anniversary. So include the word memory and tell me your favorite either Valentine's, birthday, or anniversary memory that you have. I'm going to share my first Valentine's Day with my husband. We were still dating, and we spent the entire day together, as much as was possible. I want to say it was Saturday because I don't remember us having to like separate for going to classes or anything. We were both in college. We were both taking a, you know, full load of classes. I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday because we spent the whole day together, and he might hate me for saying this because I had to keep like taking breaks. You know, we were kind of just like going various places and stuff, but I had to keep saying, okay, we gotta find a place so that I can go to the bathroom, or yeah, I have to use the bathroom. And I mean, we were together for hours and not once did he have to use the bathroom. And so we started joking about his superhuman bladder strength. That was his superpower, his superhuman bladder strength. Love you, Jeff. And yeah, just really, that is a funny memory that I have. And I made him a very yummy dinner, and we ended up making a bit of a tradition out of one of the dishes that I made him. I learned how to do it as a teenager, and it's super simple. You take a block of cream cheese, you put it on a fancy plate, and you pour a bottle of cocktail sauce over it, and then you drain a can of like little tiny shrimp and dump that on top, and then serve it with like Ritz crackers. And so that was like the appetizer that I made him, and then that became our tradition where every Valentine's Day we would do this cream cheese, cocktail sauce, shrimp, crackers thing. We haven't done it for a while because I do more plant-based eating now, and I don't really do cream cheese and shrimp. But yeah, I have very fond memories of that of that dish and that Valentine's Day. It was a fun day, and you know, it all ended up just right because I married him. So that is my Valentine's Day memory, and I think that I'm just going to end it now. I'll see you again on Monday with a regular update. Oh, it would probably help to say how long this giveaway is going to be. I will keep it open until the 18th, and that's a Monday. It's not next Monday, or it's not the coming Monday, but the one after that. So it'll be open for a little over a week. So I will be back Monday the 11th for my next Flosstube video, and then you have until a week after that to enter this giveaway. Again, leave me a Valentine's birthday or anniversary memory. You are entered to win the chance to choose a project bag from my inventory, as well as these lovely flosses, and I might throw in something else as well. I have a little over a week to think about what. So I hope you enjoyed looking at all of my finishes, and have fun thinking about fun memories that you have, and I will see you in a few days with a regular update. Have a great stitchy weekend, and happy stitching. Bye.